Why should you care about a retailer updating product data? Because this is becoming part of the hidden infrastructure of trade. Wayfair says it is using OpenAI models to improve customer support speed and catalog accuracy, including ticket triage and product attributes across millions of items. That sounds narrow. It is not. Modern e-commerce depends on clean data. If dimensions are wrong, returns rise. If materials are mislabeled, trust falls. If support is slow, costs climb. And when goods move through global supply chains, small data errors travel a long way. For China watchers, this matters because China remains central to how many household goods are made, described, and sold. So, the real question is not just what one company is doing. It is whether AI is becoming a new layer of control between factories, retailers, and consumers. The source pack gives a focused claim. Wayfair uses OpenAI models to improve e-commerce support and product catalog accuracy. Two uses stand out. First, automating ticket triage. That means incoming customer issues are sorted faster, likely routed to the right category or team before a human steps in. Second, enhancing product attributes at scale. In plain terms, AI helps fill in, standardize, or correct details like size, color, material, or style across a very large catalog. This matters because furniture and home goods have messy, inconsistent data. Different suppliers describe the same thing in different ways. The source does not say AI replaces workers entirely, and it does not claim perfect accuracy, so we should stay careful. But even this limited description tells us something important. AI is being used less as a chatbot novelty and more as a system for back-end retail operations. So, where does China enter the story? Not because the source mentions China directly. It does not. The link is structural. A large share of global home goods manufacturing has long depended on Chinese factories, Chinese suppliers, or supply chains built around China, even when production shifts elsewhere. That means catalog data often begins far from the final retailer. Product names get translated. Materials get described in uneven ways. Measurements get converted. Seller information passes through multiple systems. By the time an item appears online, the listing may reflect many layers of interpretation. This is where AI becomes relevant. If a retailer can use models to normalize and repair those descriptions at scale, it gains leverage over complexity. That does not remove the factory from the picture, but it does shift power toward whoever controls the data layer. For China, big questions. That is the real point to watch. There is a temptation to think better data means a cleaner system. It helps, but only up to a point. I can spot missing attributes, inconsistent labels, and obvious support categories. It can probably reduce friction in repetitive tasks, but it cannot make a weak supply chain transparent on its own. If the source data is wrong, incomplete, or strategically vague, the model may simply make that information look more polished. That is a real difference. Cleaner presentation is not the same as deeper truth. In a China-related context, this matters because supply chains often involve opaque subcontracting, shifting production sites, and uneven disclosure standards. An AI-enhanced catalog may improve the shopping experience while still leaving bigger questions unanswered. Who made the product? Under what conditions? How stable is the sourcing base? Those are governance questions, not just data questions. The source gives evidence of operational gains, not a full answer to those larger issues. The most useful way to read this case is as an early signal. Retailers are starting to use AI where scale hurts the most: support queues, messy catalogs, and repetitive classification work. If that works, the model will spread. And once it spreads, it shapes how products from China and other manufacturing hubs are represented to the world. So here is the question to keep in mind. Will AI make cross-border commerce more legible, or just more manageable for large platforms? Those are not the same thing. More legible would mean better visibility into origin, materials, and responsibility. More manageable could simply mean lower operating costs and faster response times. Based on the source, Wayfair's case points clearly to efficiency and accuracy in retail operations. That is meaningful. But the bigger China question is who benefits most when the data layer of global trade becomes more automated, standardized, and controlled.